Hi, and welcome to the Black Box 22 training videos. Today I'm going to go over how to create a supplementary feature. And so to begin with, I want to open up the supplementary dialog box. So I look under Tools and Supplementary Editor. Okay, so this is supplementary dialog box. You can see under feature text it's grayed out because I don't have any supplementary features in my template yet. So to create a new one, I want to click on the white icon, create a new feature. So now it allows me to type in here the name of the feature that I want to create. And today I'm going to be creating a meter. So type in the name that I want. It can be any name that you want, and just make sure it has no spaces. And I want to choose the feature type. It's a meter, so meters are point features. And now I want to start adding in the properties that I want to record against this meter. And so when you're creating a supplementary feature, Blackbox will create certain default properties for you. And so for a point feature, those default properties will be the position properties, so the northing, the easting, and elevation. If it's a line feature, then the default properties will be the up and downstream point descriptions and the up and downstream northing, easting, and elevation properties. So for all the other properties, you need to add those in yourself. And so I'm going to be showing you how to create a couple of new properties. So I'll click the green Add Property button. Then this opens up the Add a Property dialog box. And so you type in the name for the property. And this is going to be the unit type for the meter. So I type in unit type. So this is the name down here, property description. This is what's actually displayed to the user as they're using Blackbox. And so I'm going to format that a little bit, just separate unit type. And so now I want to choose the data type. So this is the type of the data that's passed back to the council. So I'm just going to choose string, which is a text value for the unit type. And the control, since I have many items that they can select from, what I want to use is the drop-down list control. And so that expands out the form now, so I can start adding in the items that are going to be in the drop-down list when the user selects on it. So just to be clear, this is an example of a drop-down control here under data type. So I click the drop-down arrow. I have different items that I can choose from: string, integer, float, date, and boolean. So I'm going to be doing the same over here for my unit type. So I'm going to be creating items that they can choose from. So the first thing I want to do is to click on this, create new drop-down list. So I need to give the drop-down list a title. So this is all internal. You won't see this, but you need to create a list inside a black box. And this is what the name of the list is going to be. And just leave it as the default value. You can change this if you want to, obviously, but I just like to leave it as the default value. So I click OK. And so now I can start adding the individual items that I want in the list. So I click the Add Drop Item button. So this is the dialog box. So I have a list off screen that I'm copying from. Okay, when I paste it into the description, it automatically populates the value. So just to be clear, the description, this is what's shown to the user when you expand the drop-down control out, and they can see the different items in the list. So they're going to see the word irrigation. If I needed to pass back a different value to the council, I could put that in here. Typically, they're going to be the same, but if the council lets you know that what value they want supplied to them, you could put a different value in the description if that makes it easier for the user to understand what that item is all about. But irrigation is pretty clear, so I'll just click OK. I need to go to my list and add in a new drop item, conventional. Manifold. So a few more. Copy it in, and I've got one more. So these are all of the items that are going to be in this drop-down list when the user uses this control. So I'm happy with that. So I just click Save and Exit. So now I have this first property. So now I want to add in a second property. So this time I want to add in just the nominal diameter. So I'll title it. And this is the description. So this is what the user sees when they're going to populate this property. And just to format it a bit, so as the user has a hint of what I'm expecting to go in the control. So I could make it an integer value, but just to be on the safe side, I'm going to say string, so it's a text value. So the user could type in just about anything, or they could type in anything, and it's not going to cause any kind of validation trouble. So that's just playing it safe, so I like doing that. And it just needs to be a simple text box that they can enter that diameter into. So I'm happy with that. Click Save and Exit. So now you can see this is now in my list of properties. And you can see in the preview area on the right hand side, this just gives you an example of what the user will see when they're starting to populate the values for this feature. And you can see if I expand out the unit type, I've got the different unit types that I've just created and a text box for the diameter. And so that's basically it. If that's all the properties that I need, then all I need to do now is go to the bottom and click the Create Feature and Exit button. So it's created the feature, and it will close the form when it's done. So now it's closed. So now I can go over to the point features and click the drop-down list, and then there at the bottom is Supplementary. If I click on that, I can see my new supplementary meter. And if I go down, and you can see the diameter, the unit type, you can see it's got all of the values, plus it's got some more default properties. So it's got status, owner, infrastructure, and notes. These are also added in by default for every feature that you create. And so that's it. So it's easy as that to create a supplementary feature. So thank you very much.